So we're also right now going to have Legal Crew, whether they're NOG or Legal Collective, do a quick Know Your Rights. The Legal Collective is going to do a quick Know Your Rights. So this is Jody. Jody's the shit. And this is Diane.
Diane is also the shit.
Diane is also the shit. Oh, also, sorry. Real quick in terms of demarcation. Safety Crew has on white and blue bandana. They're not bandanas, anything. Tape markings. White and blue tape markings. Legal Collective is yellow bandanas.
It is yellow.
Yellow. And then Medic. Y'all know what medics look like. They've got red crosses all over their bodies, their hats, their heads, their arms, their backs. So those are your three demarcated crews to be looking for in terms of support with calm and comfort, and in terms of support with legal stuff. Support thing.
Okay, one more thing.
I want to reiterate to everybody the importance of not being reactionary. We all need to remain calm. We all know that the city has specific strategy. It has been a hands-off strategy. Do not be naive. Do not think that they're not going to try and push our buttons to get us to react. We need to remain calm at all times. If you see somebody losing their shit, go help them. Get them to check themselves. If they can't, come look for a safety person or someone who you know can de-escalate the situation. Really, remain calm.
Can I say something? I just want to let you guys know that over the course of the time I've spent with you, I feel like we're doing a great cause, and I honestly think of you guys as like my family now, and I would do anything for you. So, happy fingers. We can do it today. We got this. We can do it. Come on, enthusiasm, people. We're not going to occupy this without enthusiasm. I love every one of you. And my grandma's coming with blintzes and cake later. Yeah!
So we want to do just a really quick Know Your Rights. As hard as it is to believe, you still have a few left. The one that we want you to know is this. You have the right to remain silent. Please use it. But what I want to take you through is just a simple thing. The very first thing that they have to do is to give you a warning to leave. So you do not need to get up just because they showed up unless you don't want to risk arrest, and then you can just go. But if you want to stay and you want to be there in solidarity with each other, just know that you can ask for them or wait for them to give you a warning. If the police approach you, what you can ask them is, am I being detained? If they say no, you can leave. Okay? If they say no, you can leave. Am I being detained? Say that.
Am I being detained?
Excellent. If they say yes, that means that you are now in their custody. This is where it is really an excellent time to say, I exercise my right to remain silent. Can you say that?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
And then at that point, you are probably going to be put in, cuffs will be taken out, right? So what do? First off, you need to know, contrary to Law and Order and every other TV show, they do not read you your Miranda rights. That is only if they're going to ask you questions. But if they ask you questions, what are you going to say?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
And then you add, I would like to speak to my attorney.
I would like to speak to my attorney.
Once you invoke request to speak to an attorney, they cannot ask you questions. They're done, okay? So, what we want you to mostly know today is, you may be approached. Do you have to leave yet?
No.
If they say you have to leave, and you ask, am I being detained? That's what you ask next. So you ask,
Am I being detained?
if you aren't being detained, what can you do?
Leave.
If you want to leave. If you're going to stay, you can ask again, am I being detained? And if they take you into custody, they're probably going to take folks, which they have from this point, to the roundhouse. Does everybody know where the roundhouse is? Eighth and Race. And that's where people are going to need to do jail solidarity. If people are arrested here today, the Legal Collective will kick into gear. We need you to fill out forms. If you have not filled out a form, see Penelope, we have forms. We will track you. We will know where you're being held. We will know when you have a bail hearing. We will stay up all night long and into the early morning hours. We will find out when your bail hearing is. We will find out if you have bail. We will contact your support person. We will do our best to have bail money there to bail you out so that you can come back tomorrow and continue our work. And I think, okay, the other thing that we want to tell you is this. Lots of people are going to be taking photographs of what's going on, right? Photos are great. Cameras are great. Yes, the police can not tell you. But this is what legal would like you to do. Please do not post anyone's action that is potentially an arrest on a website until you've talked to legal or lawyers, because here's what happens. If it's not posted out there on the web and the police haven't seen your video, then when they go to court, they tell a completely different story about what happened. It's called testifying. Can you say testifying? Testifying! That's what the police do. So that once you then show the video that shows direct contradiction to what the police actually did, guess what happens? Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay? That's why it's important. We are not trying to censor people. We are trying to protect people. That is why we ask you to do this.
What about general police brutality videos that don't involve specific individual arrests? Can they be immediately put on?
In fact, that's an even more important situation because police brutality is where they lie the most. So that if they have a video out there that's showing this, then they will then look at that video and they will make up a story about why that happened.
So no video footage at all should be put on the web until talking to legal.
Yes, please and thank you.
When will legal be talked to about that?
When you go to talk, as soon as you talk to us.
On the next meeting or whatnot.
No, you can just go and be like, I have this video.
The other thing is if you're going to be one of the folks sitting down, you need to make sure that your pockets are clear of anything that could be perceived as a weapon. Or contraband or drugs.
Including pocket knives.
Yes.
Get rid of your Swiss
Yeah,
Army
don't-
knives.
Pocket knives, mace, anything that are, even if they are legal, if you're getting arrested, they can be considered dangerous.
If you are taking prescription medication, especially prescription medication that you need to take, make sure that it is in a prescription bottle with your name on it. And also, when we collect your information, tell us what that medication is. And if you have a doctor's name or contact information, even better, give that to us. That way we can make sure that the police are actually giving you your medication. Again, if you have medicine, it must be in.
The very first thing that they have to do is to give you a warning to leave. So you do not need to get up just because they showed up unless you don't want to risk arrest, and then you can just go. But if you want to stay and you want to be there in solidarity with each other, just know that you can ask for them or wait for them to give you a warning. If the police approach you, what you can ask them is, am I being detained? If they say no, you can leave. Okay? If they say no, you can leave. Am I being detained? Say that.
Am I being detained?
Excellent. If they say yes, that means that you are now in their custody. This is where it is really an excellent time to say, I exercise my right to remain silent. Can you say that?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
And then at that point, you are probably going to be put in, cuffs will be taken out, right? So what do? First off, you need to know, contrary to Law and Order and every other TV show, they do not read you. Don't sit down. If you have priors or an open case, we recommend you don't sit down.
Sit down.
Because you will be held in a different category if you are not a U.S. citizen. You may not want to sit down. You can be in solidarity and support outside, but we would not encourage you to risk arrest because that will put you at risk for deportation.
Keep padlock on your phone.
Put a passcode on your phone. The police can look through your phone. If you don't feel safe about certain things on your phone, start deleting them.
Or give them to a friend.
Or give your phone to a friend.
If you have a camera, if you have a phone, if you have a laptop, anything on that can and likely will be searched. You may not want to have that in your possession when you sit down. Give it to someone you trust.
Another thing, do not ever, under any circumstances, put your hands on a cop. This could be considered assaulting an officer. So that's a very serious charge. So even just a casual touch could be construed as an assault on a police officer. So please, please, please do not do that.
You're a citizen. You're good to go.
Jody, say the number.
The number is
484-758-0488.
One more time.
Say it again.
484-758-0488. We have Sharpies for you to write them on your person if you would like to do so.
We also have some last-minute Know Your Rights pamphlets we rushed to put together. If you want one, please come take one after this is done.
One more thing! If you are in jail, do not talk to anybody! You don't know who they are! Just because they were arrested with you does not mean they are your ally!
One final thing. You can't making calls out of jail is difficult. Make sure you have one of these technological
Four of them.
devices.
Four of them. In the roundhouse, you need $1, not 50 cents, to make an outgoing call that is not collect. So make sure you have 4 quarters on you.
And if you have quarters, you might want to share them for the people that don't have quarters.
Okay.
Another thing, when you call the legal hotline from jail, do not say anything beyond your name, your birthday, the charges, and where you are.
Repeat that.
Does anyone have any specific questions before we move on with the rest of this important meeting?
What's your opinion on live streaming? You said not to take pictures and post them online. What about streaming video?
I would urge the streaming video folks to just kind of do a general overall and not focus on a particular incident. And we also just want you to know the Legal Collective has your back.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah!